making headlines. The President engages in discussions with the Speaker of Parliament, Abdul Rahim Abdullah. The President dissolves the Commission on Deaths and Disappearances on June 2nd via the presidential decree. And the President decides to seek parliamentary approval for decision to establish mutual legal assistance agreement between the Maldives and Sri Lanka.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abdul Sattar. And now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz has engaged in discussions with the Speaker of Parliament, Abdul Rahim Abdullah, revealing his aim to expedite the progress of the national development. Speaking at the meeting, President Dr. Muiz and the Speaker, Abdul Rahim, discussed efforts to expedite national progress. They predominantly discussed efforts to achieve economic progress, address environmental changes, and enhance environmental protection. During the meeting, the Speaker assured the President of the Parliament's full support towards the government's vision for the progress of its citizens. The meeting was attended by the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Ahmad Nazim, and the Parliamentary Group PG Leader of the ruling party, People's National Congress, PNC, Ibrahim Falah as well. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz dissolves the Commission on Deaths and Disappearances on June 2nd, via presidential decree. In the decree signed, the President stated that the Commission has been dissolved following the completion of its mandate. The Commission was established on November 17, 2018, with the sole purpose of independently investigating the deaths and disappearances of various cases between January 1, 2012 to November 17, 2018. The President's office of the previous tenure underscored the crucial importance of conducting thorough research for such cases and publicizing the results, as it is the responsibility of the administration to ensure justice is within the society. Furthermore, the Commission has all the authority to take the measures required by the investigating agencies and that of criminal investigation agencies as well. The cases investigated by the Commission include the death of journalist Ahmad Rilwan, blogger Yamin Rashid, and Dr. Afrashim Ali. Despite the Commission being established to complete the investigation of cases within a 2-year time frame, it was not completed by the end of the previous tenure. While the Commission extended the investigation period, it incurred a huge sum of expenses. The government has previously declared to reveal the reports of the Commission once it is received. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz decides to seek parliamentary approval for decision made during the cabinet meeting pertaining to establish an agreement on assistance and cooperation between the Maldives and Sri Lanka, aiming to prevent criminal offences. The decision was made by President Dr. Muiz following the discussions on bill proposed by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The treaty between the Government of the Republic of the Maldives and the Government of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka on mutual legal assistance in criminal matters aims to enhance the long-standing bilateral ties and to ensure the provision of assistance to both countries to prevent criminal offences. Under the treaty, assistance in criminal matters shall be provided to the widest extent possible in accordance with the laws and regulations of the respective country and in accordance with the provisions of this treaty. The practical endeavours of the Maldives to enter mutual legal assistance agreements with Sri Lanka started on 2011. The decision of the Maldives government to ban Israeli passports has caught the attention of international media platforms. The decision to amend laws to restrict entry for individuals holding Israeli passports was made during a cabinet meeting. While the decision of the Maldives was widespread across global media outlets, several are welcoming and appreciating the strong decision of the nation. Many individuals condemning the inhuman acts of the Israeli military have recognized and praised the decision. Media outlets from India and the Middle East have been observed to report and spread the news of the decision of banning Israeli passports. While the news have been covered by Russian and Western media outlets, it has also made to the headlines of Israeli media platforms. Following this decision, Israel has warned its citizens not to travel to the Maldives. According to media reports, there are no bilateral ties between the Maldives and Israel. The Israel government had previously also issued a warning to its citizens to refrain from traveling to the Maldives. The warning was issued due to the increasing outrage of Maldivians over the inhuman attacks of Israel on the Gaza Strip. The Maldives and the European Union (EU) signs an agreement to allocate $6.5 million to strengthen the nation's blue economy.
The agreement was formalized during a meeting between Minister of Foreign Affairs Moussa Zamir and Deputy Managing Director of the European External Action Service, Paola Pampaloni. Speaking at the meeting, Minister Zamir expressed gratitude to the EU for its economic support and assistance in addressing the Maldives' economic and social challenges brought about by climate change. He highlighted the significant progress in Maldives-EU relations and acknowledged the advancements made by the Maldives in tackling climate change, strengthening the judicial system, and collaborating with the EU in combating terrorism. The EU is assisting the Maldives in various sectors. At the fifth meeting of senior government officials, the EU provided $4.9 million to enhance the rule of law and combat corruption in the Maldives.
The European Union (EU) allocates $4.9 million to the Maldives to strengthen the rule of law. The assistance was announced during the fifth meeting of senior government officials from the Maldives and the EU held in Male City on June 2nd.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that the assistance is part of a partnership agreement between the EU and the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP). The Maldives expressed gratitude to the EU for its support in enhancing the rule of law, transparency, and integrity of institutions through the Accountability and Integrity Matters (AIM) project. At the same meeting, the EU has also pledged $6.3 million to improve the management capacity of protected areas and to support the Maldives' efforts in biodiversity protection and sustainable natural resource management. During the fourth meeting, in June last year, the EU had committed to aid in the Maldives in strengthening the rule of law, transparency, and institutional integrity. The meeting also marked the launch of a 5-year EU joint program aimed at combating corruption and reinforcing the rule of law in the Maldives. Under the program, the EU will support judicial reforms in the Maldives, help develop robust legal frameworks to combat corruption, and enhance the capacity of relevant institutions.
An informative session has been held for over 170 representatives of the Thai Business Association (TBA) on the investment opportunities present in the Maldives. The session, which was held in Crossroads, Maldives, was attended by the Ministry of Economic Development and Trade and the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Climate Change, Environment and Energy. The ministries provided comprehensive details on the investment opportunities in the Maldives and the National Development Plan. Additionally, the ministries addressed various queries of the representatives of the TBA regarding the investment environment of the nation. The sessions were organized by Economic Ministry in collaboration with TBA. The representatives of TBA include high-profile dignitaries, including executives, businessmen, investors, and chief executive officers as well. The ministry disclosed that those delegates are individuals actively involved in private and public sector businesses of Thailand. The businessmen representing TBA are also participants of the top executive program in commerce and trade. The program is being conducted in collaboration with the University of Thailand Chamber of Commerce, Thailand's Ministry of Finance, Thailand's Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of General Industries, and the Ministry of Civil Affairs. The program intends to bring together Thai entrepreneurs from various industries to one platform to exchange ideas and discuss the growth of their businesses and teach them relevant skills. Minister of Islamic Affairs Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Saeed emphasizes the humanitarian duty to defend the people of Gaza. In a social media post, Minister Shaheen highlighted the severe and prolonged blockade and harsh living conditions faced by Gazans. He stressed the necessity of supporting them and upholding their basic human rights to a dignified life and safety. In response, the government has decided to amend the law to prevent Israelis from entering the Maldives, citing the atrocities committed by the Israeli military against Palestinian civilians. A special committee has been formed to address this issue. Additionally, a special envoy will be appointed to address Palestinian requests and support United Nations UN relief efforts for displaced Palestinians. The UN Relief and Works Agency will conduct fundraising activities in the Maldives. The government also plans to organize a nationwide march and hold meetings with Islamic countries to seek urgent solutions to the Palestinian crisis. The death toll from the Israeli offensive in Gaza has risen to 36,284, including approximately 25,000 women and children. The number of injured has reached 82,057, and the UN reports that 1 million people in Gaza are now facing starvation. Decisions have been made by the three islands hosting the Eid al-Adha celebrations to include traditional activities and celebrate the significant day at a national level. This was announced during a press conference held by the Ministry of Tibetan Language, Culture and Heritage. The three islands hosting the celebratory activities are Ungufar in Ra Atoll, Kudahuadu in Dal Atoll and Willingili in Gafalif Atoll. Speaking at the press conference, the Director General of the Ministry, Atika Ibrahim, has revealed the commencement of necessary preparations for the Eid celebrations in the three islands. She also highlighted the ongoing efforts of the ministry to address the challenges faced by the islands as well. Providing insight on the celebratory activities which will be held in Ungufar, President of the Island Council, Abdullah Rashid, stated that all the activities will be traditional. Meanwhile, a Kudahuadu Island Council member, Ahmad Muaz, revealed plans to organize an Eid breakfast and other activities as well. As such, he disclosed the decision to hold a march advocating for the rights of Palestinian citizens and operating a night market for all nights in which Eid is celebrated. Furthermore, team leader Abbas provided information on how Eid will be celebrated in Willingili. He stated that the celebrations will commence with sport activities and will be followed with fireworks and other activities. Ensuring nationwide celebrations of Islamic events and significant days is a commitment of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz. As such, the entire nation is aglow with previous Eid al-Fitr celebrations. Public Service Media PSM officially launches the special coverage of UEFA European Football Championship 2024 PSM 40 2024. The coverage was launched in a special ceremony held at the TV building on June 2nd, following its remarkable success in securing the broadcasting rights for the championship. The special coverage was launched by the Minister of Sports, Fitness and Recreation, Abdullah Rafiu, the Managing Director MD of PSM, Zina Zahir, and the Deputy Managing Director of PSM, Abdullah Yamin Rashid. During the ceremony, the state media signed agreements with various sponsorships of the coverage. Additionally, the presenters and the analysts of the coverage were introduced. The analysts of the coverage include Ismail Zariant, Muhammad Shahid, Ahmad Farah, Ahmad Ahsan, Muhammad Shakir and Abdullah Azmin. Decisions have been made to ensure comprehensive coverage of the Euro Championship, with all matches set to be broadcast in HD quality without any additional cost to the audience. PSM is the sole local broadcaster providing this coverage. Arrangements have been made such that all the matches will be broadcast live via TVM and Yes TV. The UEFA Euro 2024 will commence on June 14th, featuring 24 European countries competing across 10 cities in Germany, divided into 6 groups and culminating in a total of 51 matches. The final match is scheduled for July 14th in Berlin. Managing Director of Public Service Media, PSM Zina Zahir, reveals that the government has provided significant support to enable free viewing of the UEFA Euro 2024 football tournament through state media. She made the remarks during the special launch ceremony of PSM 40 2024 coverage of the Euro matches. Speaking at the ceremony, Managing Director Zina highlighted that the public had previously expressed concerns about the lack of coverage of the last Euro tournament by state media. Therefore, she described the launch as a joyous occasion for football fans in the Maldives. Additionally, Zina said that the broadcasting rights for this year's Euro tournament were secured exclusively for state media, thanks to the special initiative and cooperation of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's administration. She extended her gratitude to the sponsors for their support, acknowledging the challenges PSM faces given its current financial difficulties. She assured that the coverage would be comprehensive and encouraged all football enthusiasts to join in the excitement. The PSM 4 2024 coverage was officially launched by Minister of Sports, Fitness and Recreation Abdullah Rafiu, Managing Director Zina Zahir and PSM Deputy Managing Director Abdullah Yamin Rashid. The coverage is sponsored by 9 companies. PSM will broadcast all the matches of the Euro 2024 football tournament in HD quality on television Maldives, TVM and Yes TV. The European Central Bank is expected to begin cutting Eurozone interest rates from historic heights this week, but sticky inflation means the move is unlikely to kickstart a rapid easing cycle.
Policymakers are poised to reduce Eurozone borrowing costs by a 0.25 percentage point, taking the key deposit rate to 3.75% from its current triggered level. ECB officials have widely flagged the coming cut and brushed off concerns about a divergence from the US Federal Reserve, where a robust economy has pushed back expectations of when rate reductions will start. ING economist Carsten Brzezinski said that the ECB's own communication over the last 2 months have made it almost impossible not to cut on Thursday. The Frankfurt-based institution launched an unprecedented hiking cycle in mid-2022 as energy and food costs surged following Russia's invasion of Ukraine and amid pandemic-related supply chain woes. After 10 consecutive increases, it has kept rates on hold since October, but steadily slowing inflation means a cut is now on the horizon, which would alleviate pressure on the Eurozone. But while it is a near certainty that 26 members of the ECB Governing Council will lower borrowing costs, recent stronger than expected data means it is unlikely to herald the start of a rapid rate cutting cycle. Despite consumer price rises having slowed from peaks of over 10% in late 2022, when Europe was rocked by an energy shock, bringing inflation down to ECB's 2% target is proving difficult. Data released on Friday showed that inflation in the 20 countries that use the euro rose in May and faster than expected to 2.6% on year, up from April's 2.4% increase.
China denies accusations by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that it was trying to prevent other nations from attending a planned peace summit on the war in Ukraine.
Speaking at a security forum in Singapore, Zelensky accused Beijing of working hard today to prevent countries from coming to the peace summit due to be hosted by Switzerland this month. Ukraine hopes the gathering will help it win broad international backing for its vision of the terms needed to end Russia's invasion. But China criticized the conference last week, saying it would be difficult for it to attend if ally Russia did not participate. Beijing's foreign ministry said Monday that China's position is open and transparent and there's absolutely no instance of them putting pressure on other countries. Spokeswoman Mao Ning said at a regular press briefing that on peace talks, China's position is fair and just. She added that China believes that all efforts conducive to the peaceful resolution of the crisis should be supported. Beijing insists it is a neutral party on the war in Ukraine but has also faced sharp criticism from the West over its strategic partnership with Russia. The United States has charged that China, while not directly sending weapons to Russia, has supported Moscow's largest defense industry expansion since Soviet times. Russian President Vladimir Putin was in China last month, where he sought greater Chinese backing for his war effort and signed a joint statement with China's leader Xi Jinping on deepening their countries' strategic partnership. Zelensky said more than 100 countries and organizations had signed up to the peace conference in Switzerland so far. After Singapore, the Ukrainian leader flew to Manila for a meeting with Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos as he continued to push for the peace summit.
Real Madrid celebrates the Spanish title with thousands of supporters in May, pledging to return in June with the Champions League trophy.
Los Blancos delivered on their promised defeat in Borussia Dortmund 2-0 at Wembley to claim a record 15th European Cup on Saturday. The triumphant players hit the city's usual celebration hotspots on Sunday and are set to end up at the club's Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, where the party will finish, for now at least. Paris Saint-Germain striker Kylian Mbappe's expected signing in the coming days should see the festivities continue. Vinicius' Ballon d'Or chants were heard at intervals from fans throughout the afternoon after the Brazilian netted Madrid's second goal in the final to clinch victory. Dani Carvajal had opened the scoring with his first Champions League goal for 8 seasons against the run of play after Dortmund had dominated. However, as they so often tend to do, Madrid found a way to survive and ultimately thrive. The team then returned to the Madrid regional government's headquarters to present another replica to President Isabel Díaz Ayuso, whom they also met after winning La Liga. Nacho, along with Carvajal, the retiring Toni Kroos, and Luka Modric, reached a career 6th Champions League victory, equaling the all-time record set by former Madrid winger Paco well over half a century earlier. Germany international Kroos was signalled out for special praise by Chief Perez, having set up Carvajal's winning in his final match for Madrid after a decade at the club. While the midfielder is departing, Madrid's success is likely to continue. Madrid will have another trophy to celebrate soon in the marquee signing of Mbappe, who could help them achieve that dream. The French forward is finally set for the Santiago Bernabeu after 7 years at PSG, many of which Madrid have spent trying to lure him to Spain.
Boeing's second attempt at launching a new crew aboard its troubled Starliner spaceship halts with just minutes left on the countdown clock, yet another setback for a program that has faced years of delays.
Switch not ready.
With the astronauts strapped in and ready for liftoff, the test mission to the International Space Station was unexpectedly halted due to reasons that are not yet clear. United Launch Alliance, ULA, responsible for the Atlas V rocket that Starliner sits atop, is now investigating why an automatic hold was triggered by its computer with 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. ULA CEO Tori Bruno told reporters that engineers were currently defueling the rocket to enable physical access to the ground computer, allowing them to pinpoint the source of the fault, which might be a malfunction in circuit board or power supply unit. NASA said in a blog post it was foregoing the next listed launch opportunity of Sunday, with possibilities after that on Wednesday, June 5th and Thursday, June 6th. Earlier, NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams smiled and looked upbeat after they were helped out of the capsule and driven back to crew quarters. The former U.S. Navy test pilots, who each have 2 space flights under their belts, were previously called back to quarantine hours before a launch attempt on May 6th due to a faulty valve on the rocket. Starliner was poised to become just the 6th type of US-built spaceship to fly NASA astronauts following the Mercury, Gemini and Apollo programs in the 1960s and 1970s, the Space Shuttle from 1981 to 2011, and SpaceX's Crew Dragon from 2020. NASA is looking to certify Boeing as the second commercial operator to ferry crews to the ISS, something Elon Musk's SpaceX has already been doing for NASA for 4 years.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.